Telling your story, WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Well, thank you all so much for staying up late with us on WCBI News tonight at 10. I'm Kamari Hamer. A judge in Lafayette County dismisses a charge against Timothy Harrington Jr. Last month, Harrington was indicted for capital murder and tampering with physical evidence. Now, Judge Kelly Luther has dismissed the tampering with physical evidence charge. Harrington's lawyers claim the statute of limitations passed on the alleged crime, which would have been reportedly happened around July 8th of 2022. Now, the law requires the crime to be prosecuted within 2 years. Harrington still faces a capital murder charge. He is accused of killing former Ole Miss student Jimmy J. Lee in July of 2022. Now, prosecutors allege Harrington was trying to cover up a sexual relationship between the two men. Lee's remains were found February 1st in Carroll County. Harrington was recently denied bond, and he remains in jail tonight. Well, there is just about a month remaining in the 2025 legislative session, and tax reform is one of the main pending issues. Our statewide news reporter Courtney Ann Jackson gets into the basics of how your wallet could notice a difference if reforms clear all of the legislative hurdles.
Politics aside, Ole Miss Economics Department Chair Dr. Josh Hendrickson is making this observation on the competing tax reform plans.
Well, what I would say is, like, this time around, their proposals are remarkably similar.
When you drill down to what it could mean for you and your wallet, if either plan makes it across the finish line with all its elements intact.
I think that the grocery tax and the gas tax, those will probably be the things that people notice most.
As a reminder, both the House and Senate plans would reduce the grocery tax, but increase the amount you pay at the pump. But the income tax is a big sticking point between the chambers. The House wants to phase it out completely over the course of 10 years. Meanwhile, the Senate is proposing reducing it as part of a 4-year plan. Hendrickson says there's another way to figure out a more direct impact the reforms could have on you.
It's a good time to kind of reflect on, looking at that pay stub and seeing how much money is coming out of the pay stub, because I think a lot of us get used to just, it gets taken out. You're not necessarily until tax time. So I guess we're coming up on tax time here. People don't really notice exactly how much that they're paying. And so, if you take a look at that tax stub, that'll give you a sense of how much money that you would save under these plans.
Under both plans, you'd pay less in some taxes and more in others.
The issue is I think that whenever you're sort of lowering one tax and raising another tax, I think people have a tendency to think, well, this is just kind of a wash, right? But the objective here is, by simplifying the tax code, you're hoping that that's not a wash, right? So what should happen is that people will end up at the end of the day having more money in their pocket.
Courtney Ann Jackson, 3 on your side.
Well, have you ever wondered what it is like to see emergency situations through the eyes of a firefighter? Well, Oktibbeha County volunteer firefighters are adding a new piece of equipment to their gear that they believe will make a significant impact to the community, while also showing others what they see on a daily basis. And our Grace Brister has more.
Volunteer firefighters are some of the first on the scene with fires, wrecks, medical emergencies, and more.
Yeah, it's just right here.
What they see can be hard to describe. So Oktibbeha County volunteers are using technology to their advantage. They are capturing what they see through a camera lens, using their fire cam and GoPro. Oktibbeha County Fire Coordinator Patrick Warner explains how they are using these cameras to protect themselves as they protect the community.
We use these cameras for liability purposes, so that way if we are in an altercation, it can show our side. We also use these cameras for evidence purpose. We might go to a crime scene and there might be some evidence in there that, when we drag a hose into the fire, we might disturb the evidence. But if you got that on camera before we disturbed it and started spraying water, we can use that for evidence and documentation purposes.
The cameras can also link to a system to show others in the department a live stream of the situation to help better prepare them before they arrive on scene. Warner says they are also a useful safety net when responding to disputes.
The individual we go to respond to, they see the camera on us, and they're less likely to do something bad or act up, because the individuals don't want to do anything because they know they're on camera.
Along with safety, evidence, documentation, and liability uses, they use these cameras to teach and train the next generation of firefighters.
We'll take the footage, we'll go back and we'll critique ourselves. Where could we get better? Where could we improve? What we did good and what we did not do good.
Warner says this technology gives the public an idea of different types of situations they deal with day to day.
Well, technology is improving, and it's best that you use it, and you use it to your advantage. And that's what we're trying to do here at Oktibbeha County. We want to take the technology that we have, and we want to use it the best we can to improve and better ourselves.
And the cameras belong to individual firefighters, and they plan to keep using them while serving the community.
Well, we had a gorgeous end cap to the week, a perfect Friday out there, especially when those morning clouds started to go away. We saw temperatures soar into the low 70s across the area, 73 Columbus, 72 Starkville, 71 Ackerman, and 68 up in Coffeyville. So a really enjoyable Friday afternoon and an enjoyable Friday evening, other than some clouds passing through. Still keeping on to a little bit of the warmth from the day. 64 in Aberdeen, 60 West Point, 63 in Starkville, and 65 over in Philadelphia. Kamari?
Well, thank you so much, Charlie. In his first 2 months in office, President Donald Trump has been making a lot of changes, and one change he's eyeing is eliminating the United States Department of Education. The department distributes billions of dollars in federal money to colleges and to schools, and it also manages the federal student loan portfolio. Now, WCBI spoke to two students on what the possible elimination would mean to them and to other college students as well.
Trump preparing to sign order to dismantle education department.
As Vania Brown reads the news about the possibility of the Department of Education being eliminated,
This is going to be a real struggle. This is catastrophic.
the thought of not being able to finish college starts to settle in.
And that's sad. That's really sad because I just started, and it's like it's over before I even get to, start the race.
According to educationdata.org, 87.3% of first-time college students benefit from some form of financial aid. Brown, who is a student at the W, says if the Department of Education was to be eliminated, it would put a huge strain on her ability to get a degree.
If I would have never been able to have financial aid, if I would have never been able to have a Pell Grant, even to apply for student loans, I don't know if I'd be here right now.
MUW student Javaris Roberts says he, along with millions of other college students who depend on federal funding for school, will be in a very difficult situation.
It'll cause a lot of stress, it'll just put a heavy load on people when you don't have to, what I'm saying? That just wouldn't make sense,
Roberts also says if the Department of Education is eliminated, it could also take a huge toll on the future of our nation.
It wouldn't be as many people enrolling for college, You just see a lot of, you see our future declining. It would just really be declining, and we don't need that.
Now, President Donald Trump could decide this week to take the first steps to eliminate the Department of Education, and White House officials have already started preparing an executive order directing Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin the process.
Well, we've got a mild night in store, but rain chances will start to pick up as we go through the evening. I'll track that out for you and give you a look at your weekend forecast. All that and more coming up after the break.
All right, there. Welcome back in, everyone. Well, getting pets spayed or neutered can be very costly. That is one reason a low-cost spay and neuter clinic will soon be open to the public. This is to help reduce pet overpopulation and also serve low-income families who want to be responsible for pet owners. Allie Martin has more on the SNP station.
As a veterinarian, Dr. Lori Ward often hears from pet owners facing emergencies.
Their dog's sick, their cat's sick, they don't have the money for it. Sadly for us, as a for-profit clinic, we would love to help everyone, but we have to be for-profit to keep the doors open, and it's just not economically feasible.
Spaying or neutering can be costly for many low-income pet owners. That's why the SNP station was formed. The nonprofit will provide affordable, high-quality spay and neuter services and essential vaccinations to low-income pet owners, shelters, rescues, and community caregivers.
We all see them on the side of the road. We all see them starving. We all see it, and none of us want to see that, and that's what we want to prevent. We want to prevent so many strays being out there, and we want to keep animals in homes, and we want to help shelters and rescues move through more of these stray animals and just try to decrease the population overall.
The idea and concept for the SNP station was introduced to community members at a luncheon in Tupelo. The SNP station has a building in Verona. It will be open 2 days a week once furniture and equipment is in place and up and running. It is estimated the SNP station will need a budget of $150,000 to provide needed services. The Hall Foundation helped kickstart the fundraising efforts with a $20,000 donation. There is a lot of work to be done, but volunteers are on board and eager to tell the community about the important mission.
We can't transport, adopt, we can't house, and we can't rescue our way out of the pet population crisis that we see here in the South. And so education goes a long way on the importance of spaying and neutering your animal, but we just want to be able to provide for those who cannot get that financial income up to be able to have their animals fixed, to be able to do that. We want to keep pets with the families.
The shelter's full. The rescues are full. People are begging, absolutely begging for help for this. And if we can stop the production of animals, then we can stop this problem somewhere along the way.
The SNP station could be open by April. Telling your story in Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
All right, great to see that coming into action there. Well, for more information on this application process or to see how you can help, please go to our website at WCBI.com.
Well, if you have any rain gear, dust it off for the weekend. Saturday night, some storms and showers will start to move into the area. They'll linger into Sunday, where we take a 10-degree dip in our high all the way down into the mid-50s. We'll start to warm back up by Monday, though, seeing some nice clearing and seeing temperatures rise all the way into the upper 60s. We'll see that continue into 70s by the time we get into Tuesday. You like that?
Yeah, I'm so happy it's getting to the 70s. I hate it's going to be wet, though. But that's the news at 10. We'll see you all back here at 9 tomorrow.